Hi guys, nice to see you guys again. Today we are going to be working on learning a new note. And so to start, I wanted to warm up with number 71 in Essential Elements, Mexican clapping song. So turn to page 15 if you can please, and find 71 and we'll begin there. I will play on the trumpet this time for our warm-up. Okay. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great. So today we're going to look at, last video we looked at the low A flat. Today we are going to look at the high A flat. Same letter name, but now the higher version. So this is concert A flat. So for clarinets, bass clarinet, tenor saxophone, trumpet, and baritone in the treble clef, if you're reading the treble clef, this is the B flat, high B flat. And if you are on the alto saxophone, it is an F. If you are in the baritone bass clef, it's an A flat as well. Okay, and so let's start with the flute. So exact same fingering as our last A flat. You have your back key, which you've been mostly pressing for most notes. 1, 2, 3, and this. And except we're going to use a little more pressure, a little more air, and we're going to play the high one. So here's the low one and high. I'm not very good at my flute. It's not the best flute, but you will find you will be able to play it. There it is. Okay, good. Clarinets, you guys have the high B flat, and for you, this means pressing your back key at the top and your top front key above the holes. Okay. There you go. Okay. Alto saxophone, you have an F. It's the higher F, so you're going to use your back octave key back here. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1 key down here for F. Tenor, you have a B flat, so I'm not going to play it on this. I didn't on this saxophone, but you have your back key, 1, 2, and then on the side here, you have this bottom side key, and it should give that same note. Except yours will be down here. Okay, it's gonna sound like that. Trumpets and all the brass, you have valve 1. Same valve as before, but now it's gonna be higher. Last week, it was like this. So what you can do, brass, is you can try to switch in between. You will find you have 3 notes that we've learned so far on valve 1, low B flat, F, and high B flat, and it would sound like this. And you can continue on higher as well. So if you hear yourself play some higher notes, that's okay. That just means that you are able to play those. So just try and you can go through those and play those different ones. Okay, so our piece that goes with that is number 75, Basic Blues. And so we will start, I will start on the trumpet with this one for this time. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. There we go. And so it just kind of builds up to the top. If you don't get that note every time, don't worry. Sometimes it's going to take a little bit for it to come. What's most important is that you're playing the right fingers. Okay, now on the flute. We'll do the repeat again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Great. And lastly, percussion. So I'm just going to be playing the snare drum line. Here we go. I'll count it out with you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. So now we'll play the next piece, which is number 76, High Flying. We have a new key signature here. If you look in the yellow box that says theory, you'll see what your new key signature is. Now that we've learned both A flats, concert A flats or B flats or Fs, whichever one you're playing, now it's going to be involved in the key signature. So 76 for the flute, we have 3 flats. Now it's not going to say play that A flat. They're not going to put the flat in front. Same thing, clarinets. They're not going to put the flat in front. You just need to know that all those flats, B flats, are flat. And alto saxophone is not going to play, put a natural sign in front, which it was doing for you before. To remind you, it's just a plain F, not an F sharp. So let's try it out. So this is number 76, High Flying. Oh yes, one more thing. We have a first and second ending. So what's going to happen is we're going to play through the piece, and when you see the box that says number 1, you're going to play box number 1, and then you see a repeat sign, and you know repeat goes back to beginning. Go back to the beginning, start again, play through, and then when you reach that box number 1, you're not going to play box number 1, you're going to play box number 2, and that's the second ending. Okay, so they just want to, instead of writing out the music twice, this saves paper. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so remember, the first time you're going to play box number 1, the second time you repeat, you're going to go to box number 2. You're going to skip box number 1. Okay. High Flying. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. bass snare line. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have a bass drum, so I can't play that. But what's going to happen here in this part, if you are playing the bass and snare together, you got boom, chick, chick, snare. Sorry, bass, snare, snare, bass, snare, snare. That's very common in 3/4 time. So I'm going to just count it out this time. I'm not going to sing the melody. Here we go. So if you're going to play with us, just make sure you're counting along. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Okay. As always, make sure you go back and do the video again to practice or practice on your own. And if you're having trouble with something, go back to a further video to help yourself out. All right, see you next week.